Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today I have a really fun craft. It's a snowflake made out of cotton swabs. I'm going to teach you how to make it right now. For this project, you will need cardstock in winter colors like blue and black, scissors, cotton swabs, white glue, yarn, and a hole punch. So the first step is to cut my backer piece of paper. And for this, I'm going to need one of my Q-tips. So I take my cotton swab or Q-tip, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to measure, and I want to make sure that my piece of paper is longer than my Q-tip and wider than my Q-tip. And it just so happens that this piece of paper is wider than my Q-tip, which is perfect. And then I'm going to take my Q-tip and turn it sideways here to measure. And I'm going to cut just on the outside. I'm giving myself a little teeny bit of space on either side here, just on the outside of that Q-tip. There we go. So I end up with a square that is just slightly larger than my Q-tip. Now what I want to do is I want to take my piece of paper and I want to fold the bottom up to line up with the top, like a taco. And then I want to do the same thing. I want to take this left side and fold it all the way to the right side to make a little square. So I've got a little book that opens this way, and then it also opens down. So I end up with a little square. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut with my scissors. I'm just going to make a nice little arch from here to here, like I'm cutting a pizza wedge or a piece of pie. From the outer edge to the outer edge, and I get a little pizza wedge. And when I open it up, that gives me a nice circle base that I can use for my cotton swabs. The next step is to cut my cotton swabs. And I want to make these in 4 different sizes. So the first size is just to cut it right in the middle. Just like that. And this is something that an adult should do, please, because scissors and these little sticks, they can be a little tricky. So this would be a great place for an adult to help out. Then the next one is what I call a third. And so what I do is I just take my finger and measure down like a thumbnail. And then I use this little piece here so that I get it exactly the same. So that's my little template. There we go. And that is what I call my middling. So I've got my halveser, my middling, and then the last one is just the head. So you're going to want to cut a whole bunch of these, of all these different versions. And save your sticks too, because the sticks can be used to make your snowflakes as well. Now you can see I've got a whole bunch of the little heads, the middlings, the halvesers, and the extra sticks. So now we get to build snowflakes. And now the thing about these snowflakes is they can be many different designs. What I'm going to teach you is this design right here, which is a pretty common snowflake design. But I want to show you a couple other designs that I've done. So this is a really pretty pattern. And basically it's just your basic crosses. And then I used all those little heads right around the center. And this one is another one. And this I used the sticks instead of using the Q-tip part. This one is all just halvesers all the way around. And then finally this one, which is just a cross and a straight up and down. And then these are just the tiny heads going all the way around. But this one is the one that I'm going to teach you right now. So for me, I like to start with a solid Q-tip, not a cut one. And I'm just going to put that right in the center there. And then for this project, I'm actually going to be using 2 halvesers. I'm going to take the halvesers and put those on either side, 1 and 2 to make like a cross. Now, to build the rest of my snowflake, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be using 4 of what I like to call the middlings. And the middlings are going to go in between the cross pieces here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you'll notice, I am not building this with glue. And the reason that I'm not building it with glue is because I'm going to build it first and then I'll transfer it. So now I'm going to take my little nibbers, my little head pieces here, and I'm just going to put those on either side. There you go. Okay, so now I've got my snowflake all laid out. And then I'm going to take a second piece of paper here. I'm going to slide this over to the edge here. And now what I'm going to do is slowly transfer over these pieces onto my actual backer. Now, the most important thing here is to take your time. And, you know, if you're younger and you just want to put a whole bunch of glue on here and then just place your pieces, go ahead and do that. Remember, this is all about having fun. This is not about perfection. But if you want to transfer bit by bit, what you want to do is start with your big one and then lay your glue for your cross pieces on either side. And now I'm going to do the cross for the little middlings. And there we go. And then I'm just going to put the little pieces on the side to make those little ends of the snowflake. Now they are going to need a little bit of time to dry. They usually take about, I would say a couple hours. And when they dry all the way, they'll be nice and clear and you won't see that glue at all. All you'll see will be the fabulous snowflake form formed out of cotton swabs. Now the last step is to just make a hole and string your string through it. Now, because this one is still drying, I'm just going to use my already dried one here to show you what I mean. So you just take your hole puncher, give it a little hole punch, and take a little piece of string and string it right on through. And then you can make this as long as you want. And when I tie my knot at the end, what I like to do is just take both pieces, wrap them around my finger to make the letter O, and then bring those 2 ends up through and pull, and that makes a nice little loop. And there you have it, your very own snowflake made out of cotton swabs. And remember, every snowflake is unique and different, just like you. For more fun ideas, check me out, Sophie-World.com.